Hi there, and welcome round to Ben's. My name is Ben Healey-Potter and I'm one of the chefs in London for ISS, and I work in the food services department. So today we're going to make two really simple dishes. We're going to do a really nice simple chicken ramen with some leftovers from roast chicken, and we're also going to do a really nice poached salmon pokey. So I've got a really lovely selection of ingredients here today. I'll go through it stage by stage and we'll work through it, and then I'll try and answer any comments that come up at the bottom at the same time. So first of all, we're going to start off with our chicken ramen. Now, like I said, I'm making this from leftovers of a chicken that we had for dinner last night. So very simple, we're going to make a chicken stock. All you need to do to make a chicken stock is take the carcass straight into the pan. You can put in some onions, some celery, some carrots, some garlic, bay, rosemary, thyme. Bring it up to the boil and just let it sit. Now, obviously, for the purposes of this video, I've made one earlier. I made one last night and I put it in the fridge and I let it set. So as you can see, there's a bit of a layer of fat on the top of it, which I'm going to skim off. I'm going to start off by cooking our noodles, and we're going to cook them in our chicken stock. A great variation of this is if you want to do much simpler, you haven't got time to make a chicken stock, you can use a stock cube, you can use a vegetable stock powder that you can get in the supermarket. Add a little bit of miso, white or red miso to it, and it creates a really nice flavour. It's really up to you. So first of all, let's get this on the pan. Let's get rid of this fat from the top here. We don't want that. And that just comes off all together with a spoon, and you're left with a really nice stock. So I'm going to pop that into our pan, and I'm going to pop that onto the side to bring that up to the boil. We don't want to take it all, because just at the bottom you get a layer of sediment as well. So let's pop that on the cooker. And as soon as that starts to boil, we're going to add our noodles to start cooking them. Now, into my ramen today, I'm going to be mix it around a little bit. I'm going to be putting the leftovers of chicken. So all I did was, when we finished our chicken meal, I went to the carcass and I just pulled some of this chicken off the carcass. It wouldn't normally get eaten, and it's more than enough for a portion of ramen. We're also going to have some nice egg noodles in there, just for one. So we've got one little nest of egg noodles. We've got some beautiful chard that I've grown in the garden, so we're going to prep that right now. And this really doesn't take a great deal of cooking. The leaves can pretty much be eaten as they are, and the stalks just take a little bit of cooking right at the end. So we'll put them in at the end of our... So let's get going. So we're going to lose the leaves, put them to one side. Now, I've washed this already, so it's ready to go, so we won't have any little creepy crawlies or anything like that in there. And I've got these lovely stalks that we're going to just cut up roughly. It doesn't matter how you cut them up. You don't want to be too big, because we want it to just cook out really gently and really quickly in our warm stock. Let's set them to one side. So we're not going to need all of these leaves, so we'll pick some of the nicer, smaller bits. And we'll just run our knife through that roughly. Put that to one side. There we go. We've got a couple of nice little mushrooms here, just button mushrooms, simple stuff. I'm going to quickly slice them up. And again, we're not really looking to cook these out too much. They're just going to cook in the heat of the ramen, heat of the stock when we cook it, when we put it together. We've got our noodles. We're going to add a little bit of carrot. Now, you don't have to be a chef or anything like that to be able to do this really nice and small. Just take a potato peeler, peel a bit of carrot, run a potato peeler over it, and you get some really nice ribbons that we can put in. Work it around the carrot. If you've got a vegetable spiralizer or something like that, that's really easy to use as well. And just think, imagine for a dish like this, anything you'd eat raw, anything like carrot, anything like that, you can put into this and it'll be really easy to use. So we've got our ingredients ready there. Let's check out our stock. Turn that up. Okay. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of onion in. Now raw onion doesn't sound all that great to a lot of people, but what we're going to do is we're going to slice it really thinly. We're going to put a little bit of salt and olive oil in it, and in the time it takes to do that, providing we've sliced it really thin, the olive oil and the salt will start to cook it off and break it down. So nice and gently. You don't need a lot. It's just for a little bit of flavour. I'm going to pop it into a bowl, break it up. Nice bit of salt, don't be afraid of the salt. Bit of pepper, because being part of the ramen it will all mix in together and the flavours will all infuse into the stock. And then a little bit of olive oil. Now we're going to use just a little bit of this in our dish, and it just breaks it up really nicely, and that salt will start to break down the onion. You get a really nice flavour from it. So let's pop that to one side, give our hands a wash. Down. So let's see if we've got any questions. Just all good well wishes, that's what I like to see. So that's all ready for our ramen. So the next thing we start to do is we're going to start looking at our poke bowl that we're going to do. So I've got a nice little bowl here, and again these are two really simple recipes that you can do with virtually leftovers. So into my poke bowl today, I'm going to be putting a little bit of carrot again. Similar sort of process to what I've just done really with the onion. I'm going to just get a little bit here, julienne it up, we'll put it into ribbons. Try not to cut my fingers with the potato peeler. Again, this is all about being really simple and really healthy. Most people have got a potato peeler, most people can eat carrot. So there we go, we've got that. That's ready to go. And we're just going to start building a nice ramen, a nice poke. So simple, I've got some pre-cooked rice. If you want to use an alternative to this, you can use something like a cauliflower rice, you can use couscous, you can use a little bit of buckwheat, or a little bit of spelt, something along those lines. And it's really simple, it's just leftovers, and it's a nice meal, a nice lunch, something nice and healthy for the next time. So when I cooked this, I cooked my rice, it was about half a cup of rice, and to a half a cup of rice you want roughly a cup and a half of water. A little bit of salt, I popped in a bay leaf, and I've also put in some cumin seeds. You don't have to, I just like the taste. Before you cook it, make sure you wash the rice really thoroughly, drain it off, and then just bring it to the boil and cook it slowly. So I'm going to place that up in the bowl like that. And what we're trying to do is make a really nice clock face of colours on here. So we can get rid of that. So carrot, that can go in next. We've got some cucumber now. Nice little trick with the cucumber. Again, simple. All I'm going to do is cut a rough piece of cucumber. Doesn't have to be fantastically small. Nice thin slices if you can. And what I really like, I have a bit of a thing about doing some flash pickling with this kind of stuff at the moment. So I'm going to make a really flash pickle. Really simple, anybody can do it, and I'm pretty sure you will have most of the ingredients for it in your house right now. All I'm going to use is a little bit of salt. The salt helps to reduce the amount of water in the cucumber. Again, it breaks it down into a little bowl. There's my salt. Some little sweet pickled onions. Everybody's got them. Quick spoon, a spoon of the pickling liquor. Nothing too much, because all we're going to try and do is just mix it up to give it a little bit of a flavour and a little bit of sort of a dressing. A little bit of salt, drop of olive oil, and then we can just leave that. Next, what I'm going to do, very similar thing, I'm going to do a little bit of white cabbage. So I've got a little bit of Savoy cabbage here, some nice Savoy cabbage leaves. I say nice, they've been in my fridge for a little while. It's a really nice vegetable. Again, it's not something that you normally think about eating in this style. You've probably all eaten it like this, but you're not aware. You haven't been aware of it. So all we're going to do is quickly chop that up. We want to do it nice and fine, nice and simple, and shred it up. I'm going to try not to cut myself on Instagram. So another bowl, any bowl will do. Let's take our cucumber. We can use the same bowl again. So we're going to put our cucumber, spoon our cucumber next to our carrot. Again, we're thinking about the colour, we're thinking about the flavour. We want something that's going to be filling and nutritious. With these things, you know, if you've got time or you fancy making up a bit of a batch in advance, you can make this up and then leave it in the fridge in a sealed container. Especially the cabbage, the carrots, it works with pretty much anything. Anything you'd like to eat raw, or anything you feel quite confident about, just give it a try. So we're going to put our Savoy cabbage into there, and we're pretty much going to do the same thing. So a little bit of salt, and again the salt helps to break down the structure of the cabbage. So if you were to do this overnight, you're going to end up with something really, really nice, soft and tender. It starts to ferment, which is, for me, is fantastic. I love that kind of stuff. So again, we're going to have just a little bit of this pickling vinegar. Toss it round. Job done. Let me have a look. So, in the meantime, our stock has come to the boil, so I'm going to bring it over. This forms the base of our soup. So, before we go too far, we just want to taste it, make sure it's nicely seasoned. Delicious. That's lovely. So I'm going to drop my noodle nest in there, and that'll take probably about 5 to 6 minutes. While we're doing that, cabbage is tossing. Again, this is another one. You can leave this overnight and let it ferment. It just gets better and better. Sort of 2-3 days, and you're going to end up with really, really soft. Lots of water will come out of it. Keep tossing it around. It's going to be really, really tasty. So we're going to pop a little bit of that in there. Again, really healthy, nutritious. We don't want to cook any of the vitamins out of it. I'm going to pop that into the middle. We're going to pop that over to one side. So, we got any comments? Can say hello to a few people I know on there. Where's my knife glove? Yeah, I've heard that one before. That's very good. So, carry on with the poke bowl while our noodles are going. I've got a couple of really nice soft boiled eggs here. Now, I've got two because I'm going to use one in my ramen and one in here. All I've done is I've boiled these for 8 minutes this morning, dropped them straight into cold water, and I can feel they're still going to be nice and soft in the middle there. So we're going to take one of these. I'm going to cut it in half, just gently. There we go, beautiful coloured egg. I'm going to pop that on there as well. Next up, we're going to do an avocado, part of an avocado. Really easy to use. These have been on my windowsill for sort of five or 6 days now because they come a bit hard. If I threw one, I could have probably broken the window. And we're just going to run the knife around it, into the stone, run it around, and take it into 2 halves. This one's actually a tiny little bit over, if I'm honest with you. And cut that down into a quarter. It should just peel down really nicely. There we go. Take that little bit of brown out there, we don't want that. And we're just going to slice it nice and thin at an angle. Press it down on the workbench. Fan it out a little bit. We're very green here today. There's lots of green stuff on here. And I'm just going to drop a little bit of olive oil over that. There we go. So we're almost done with our pokey. I'm just going to take a little bit of this chard again, and I'm going to julienne that up really nice. I'm a little trying to stay away from the chefy terms, but just give that a little bit in there. All these lovely green colours. Now, to finish this off, make sure I'm not burning anything while I'm doing this. I'm going to check my noodles. So to finish this off, I've got a really nice piece of salmon. It's just a frozen piece, there's nothing particularly special about it. But what I did is I put it into a pan, I covered it, just about covered it with water. I put a bay leaf in there. I didn't have any lemons, so I used a couple of little pickled silver skin onions. Bay leaf, I put a little bit of thyme, some peppercorns in there, and I just brought it to the boil, put a little bit of greaseproof paper over it, and let it continue to cook in its own heat. Took it off the burner. Really nice, just a simple piece of salmon. And what I'm going to do is just peel away any bits that I don't want there. Just a little bit of sort of brown fatty bit, and then just gently with my fingers, I'm going to break it up, and hopefully you'll be able to see it's nice and pink inside, just about cooked. And it might even be a little bit over. And then we're just going to flake that up, if it's possible, onto the dish. There we go. Just going to rinse my hands. Any comments? Lots of people joining, no comments. Come on, guys. So, last couple of bits onto this is I'm going to add a little bit of that lightly pickled onion. Straight away you can see the salt start to break it down. It's going a slightly translucent colour. I'm going to put that on top. We want a little bit of that on there. I'm sure I'll get some comments. Oh, hello to Dan Newton. Hi, Dan. I'm going to put some nice salted peanuts on there. So again, we want some protein in there. We want a little bit of variety in our dish. Dry your hands. And somewhere I've got some really nice little flowers that I picked off from the garden. So I've got some little chive flowers. A couple of you will know me. Where can we see the recipe again? You can watch the video again, and we'll see if we can't get the recipe up. Who cut my hair? Nobody cut my hair. It's isolation hair. So I've got some really nice little flowers. There's some chive flowers here. There's some little flowers that I've got some rosemary, some thyme in there, and some rosemary. We're just going to use those. We're going to break the petals off for a little bit of garnish. Just tease the stalk out of that one and flake it over the top there. And the same with here. There we go. Now hopefully you'll all like this. Very, very simple, nice little ramen, poke. Delicious, healthy, nutritious lunch. It can be done with leftovers, it can be done with whatever you've got in the fridge. It's all fresh, healthy, full of vitamins. Again, you can vary this up as much as you like. So I'm going to pop that over there because I'm going to eat that in a little while. Pop that down. And whilst I've been talking, my noodles have come to the boil and they've cooked. Now, the simplest way to tell if your noodles are cooked, take one out and taste it. So let that drain a little bit. And put that on the side. Try not to get them all over the place. So they're a little bit underdone, a tiny bit underdone, which is perfect for what we want to do with it. So, coming back over to our noodles, we're going to take our chicken. So this is the dry chicken that we picked off the carcass last night, before we made our stock, and we're going to pop that in there as well. And what that does, it will bring the chicken up to temperature, and it will make it nice and moist, add plenty of flavour to it. Let's pop that in there, bring that onto the heat. Do I make my own noodles? No, I bought those noodles in, I'm afraid. Slippery Devil, thank you. Who's that? David Bridge, I believe. Simon again with a nice smiley face. So, we're going to get a nice bowl for our ramen. Simple, not massive. We're going to be ready to go with that one. We've got our other egg, so we want to get our egg ready. So we're going to cut that in half. And that's going to go in right at the end. This one's actually a bit softer in the middle. A little bit runny, which is really nice. Right. So, noodles and our chicken have been boiling on there for a few minutes. They're just about right. So we're going to use the tongs to turn them around in the pan, almost like we would do with a spaghetti. We're going to take that out. Pop that in there like so. And then we're going to get a few bits of our chicken. We want our chicken in there. We want it all the way through. Right, let's return that to the heat. So we're going to keep that chicken stock. So that's our noodles with our chicken in. And then to that we're going to put a pinch of our chard. We're going to put a few of our chard stalks into our soup. Let them come to the boil. We're going to put our mushrooms. I need 3 or 4 slices in there. On there. We're going to put a few bits of our carrot in there. Don't need to have huge amounts of this, because it's mainly about the noodles. And we're going to have a little bit of our salted onion again. Just add a little bit of flavour onto there. Okay. Let's have a look at our stock. Right, so we've put our chard stalks into our stock with the last of our chicken, and we're just simply going to tip that over the bowl. And our chicken on the top. There we go. That looks absolutely fantastic. We're going to pop our egg just to the side there. I'm going to use a few more peanuts just to give it a little bit of garnish. Last of my little flowers on there. And if you want to, you can add a little bit of soy sauce just to add a little bit of depth to the flavour. And there we go. 2 very simple dishes everybody can make at home with pretty much everything that you've got. What's growing in your garden, chef? So in my garden I've got chard, rosemary, chives, I've got some lovely sage, mint, spearmint. Very lucky, I've been here a few years now, so it's all growing really well. So I've got some lovely comments on here from Mel. Great meal, wish I could reach in and grab a portion. Thanks, Stewie. That's it. If you've got any questions or anything like that, please feel free to send me a message and enjoy it. Where's the sriracha sauce? Simon, I don't have any sriracha sauce at home, I'm afraid. But that's it. Thank you very much for watching me, and I look forward to seeing whoever's doing it next week. It's going to be we're going to carry these on every week, so it's going to be really good fun and see what they come up with. Right, thank you very much.